From life into death, and death into life anew. Your eyes are clouded by greed. Let me wash it all away. You're the new offerings.
Alright, what is up guys? And today it is Wednesday, and that means we have another patch for Epic 7. Now, we're just going to be talking about this update summary very quickly and just talking about what's being changed in the patch tomorrow on the 18th. And first off, we have a new Moonlight 5-star unit, Dragon King SHARUN. We have a new skin, Harmonic Conductor Bellion, which looks amazing. It is the RTA skin for if you finished Masters or higher in the last season. Also will be available in the shop, I believe, within the year. Next, we have the January balance adjustments coming to the game. And we also have a new side story as well for New Year's, which means some good catalysts and, artifacts probably that will come. And we'll most likely get another EXP artifact as well. So the first thing we have is Dragon King SHARUN. This is her animation. She looks amazing. If you guys are wondering about my first impressions on her, you're going to see that video on my channel, which I'll probably be releasing a couple hours after this one is released. But basically, she looks pretty good against like sleep units and stun units, namely Death Deal Array and also Airwell, because she has a passive that can give your team fixed damage that works on AoE. Next, we have the Bellion skin. This skin looks amazing. I'm a big fan of Bellion's base skin, but this one just looks honestly like 3 times better in my opinion, just because I kind of like how her hairstyle is in this one compared to the last one. You're also going to see that we have some January balance adjustments. I did talk about this in the past videos that I've released, but basically I'll just summarize everything for you in this video here. So Judge Kisei pretty much still will be useless because you're kind of trying to make her into more of a debuff like opener. I think the best way you could have buffed her is by giving her like speed scaling on her damage, but they didn't really do that. Specimen Says is losing his counterattack passive, and now he has evasion. Don't really know what that's going to help him with. Evasion already is in a bad spot, so he's just going to die, to be honest. Next, we have Spirit Eye Celine. She's going to have less damage on her S1 to squishy units, but more damage on her S1 to tanks. And also, she's going to lifesteal with her S1, even if she doesn't have the possessed buff on her from her S3, which won't really matter too much, but it's still a nice change when you do activate your Nimble's Eye. Hwayoung is being changed so that she loses her attack passive and instead gets an attack buff, which is not that great if you already have an attack buffer on her team. And also they're changing it so you don't need HP difference anymore to one-shot like tanks. You just need attack difference, which will make her able to be built on another bruiser build. I think she's definitely going to be a little bit better, but still don't know if she'll be usable. Elena's S3 is going to cleanse another debuff now, which is very nice, and will make her already better than she already is. I think she's okay right now, pretty decent actually, especially against cleavers. But most cleavers have double debuffs now, so this will give her more flexibility. Command model Leica, just making her more consistent with the sleep. It's going to 100%. She wasn't really used because you could get 25%ed and 15%ed and get screwed over, so nice consistency changes. Elvira is going to be changed. That's why there's like this change symbol, but honestly it's a buff. Now you can't actually abuse immortality. Your S3 cooldown cannot be reduced, but she will actually counter fighting spirit units a lot more. Roman, still going to be trash. Infinite Horizon Acades, still going to be pretty bad. And then we also have Montrancy, who will have a higher chance to sleep on her S1. Doesn't really matter, but the biggest part is that she'll take less damage now from bosses in PvE, which will make her even better in PvE than she already is. Don't know why she got buffed, but okay, she's used like everywhere in PvE. So those are the changes coming tomorrow. And then we also have 3 artifacts being changed. Honestly, none of these really matter. They're still not going to be that great, so you can kind of ignore it. But those are the artifacts being changed. This is a new side story with Ervalen, and I forget who that is. I'm pretty sure he was in the story for episode 3, episode 2, and I forgot kind of what happened with him. But yeah, we have the New Year's Grand Festival coming out. Hopefully that means some good rewards. Usually for New Year's they give us good rewards. We have Elvira's banner being extended because she's changed. So the way that it's working is she'll be extended for another 2 weeks, I believe, because it's basically a different unit now. Now, if you guys weren't aware, Elvira will be able to be recalled until I think the 1st of February or the 3rd of February, only if you pull it before the patch. If you pull it today, as you're watching this video, as it's released, you'll be able to recall her for a different unit. A lot of new players are actually doing this, so they can pick a unit of their choice. If you pull her after that, from the 19th to the 1st of February, you will not be able to recall it. So if you want to recall her, you have to pull her. If you don't want to pull her or recall, just skip her. If you want her because she seems pretty good into fighting spirit units, then you can just pull her and keep her. I have her. I most likely would just keep her and not even use the recall because she looks pretty decent against fighting spirit units now, which are very annoying in Navy Captain Landy and Abyssal Fine. She looks way more consistent. And then we have Laika running after the maintenance. Most likely they buffed her because they needed to run her. I think she was a pretty decent opener in the past, but kind of fell out of the meta. But maybe with these changes she'll be better. We'll have to see. I think a lot of people would test her out, especially cleavers. But I think after her buff she'll be pretty decent. Then we have Arya running on the 25th. Pretty good for arena offense auto. Pretty good as a 5th pick in RTA, and also good for Guild Wars offense. But for newer players, she's going to be very hard to build. But she is a pretty decent unit as a counter pick. Now for the Mystic Summon rotation, which will be happening after the maintenance, we have Dragon King SHARUN with Kitty Clarissa, and we'll be talking about if we should pull for them in a future video. Honestly, just wait for other content creators like myself to test out the new ML 5-star. Don't go crazy and pull for her because she seems like super strong in like one video that they previewed. Smilegate tends to only showcase videos where they have the units that they counter on the enemy side. Dragon King SHARUN is definitely a counter unit, and we'll definitely have to test her out and see if she actually impacts the meta like other ML 5-stars such as Navy Captain Landy and Abyssal Fine, which, you know, those caliber type of units you want to save your pities for and go for because they're game changing. Dragon King SHARUN, I don't think she'll be that game changing, but maybe she will. We'll definitely have to test her out. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the patch. I kind of skimmed over it. I know there's a lot. You know, I didn't really talk about Dragon King SHARUN's skills. I'll talk about that in a future video in like a couple hours once I upload this. And I did talk about these balance changes before, including Elvira, so you can check that out on my channel. Basically, I did summarize it for you. Yeah, Judge Kisei, nothing happened to her. She's still bad. Specimen says, honestly, I think he's even worse now. Spirit Iceline's getting buffed, damage-wise, which doesn't make any sense. Hwayoung is a small buff. Elena is a small buff. Command Model Laika, small buff. Elvira, pretty decent buff. Roman, Infinite Horizon, Acades, doesn't really matter. And Montmorency doesn't really matter. So balance adjustments are pretty useless, honestly. So many more units out there that they should be buffing. And I really don't know why they buffed Kisei and Specimen says like this. I think these units definitely needed to be buffed, but they definitely buffed them in the wrong way. So yeah, hopefully they do rebuff them. We saw with Elvira that she actually got buffed very decently, not in a way she's super overbearing for what we know right now until she gets buffed, but on paper it seems like she'll be a very strong unit, but not like super OP. She's kind of meant to do what she does now, and hopefully, you know, the balance team can actually reflect that in future updates, because this balance patch was pretty meh outside of Elvira. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you're most excited for this patch, and I will see you guys next video.